Hello everybody, Roland right here, back again with another booster box opening, and at last we finally have Flesh and Blood Monarch in the flesh and blood. And gosh, it's unlimited finally here after weeks of waiting painfully to be able to open this setup and start actually playing with it outside of sealed. It's finally arrived. We can finally start building our Bolton Prism decks and maybe Levia. So yeah, really excited to be opening this for you guys. Of course, big pulls in this set. We're looking for the library, really any of the legendaries right now because we don't have any of them. I'd love to get a full play set of all 6. Although Doomsday does seem to be, kind of the weaker of the 6. Really want a Vestige of Soul and a Phantasmal Footsteps for those 2 light heroes. And yeah, let's jump right into it. Alright, first pack of the day. We got a Special Shield / Iris of Reality token. And for our pulls, we're just going to skip all the commons. Get straight to the foil card. There's that new Blood Tribute. So in Unlimited Edition, they have a different Blood Tribute art than the first edition. Funnily enough, I actually prefer this artwork better. I actually think it really is quite sick. But yeah, there we go. And we're going to, and our first foil is a Smash with Big Tree, blue. This is just a foil common. Pretty cool looking card though. Unfortunately, it being blue kind of sucks. I'd rather have the yellow here. There's a full common. Stubby Hammers for our equipment, and for our rare plus, we got an Invigorating Light for our rare, Invigorating Light yellow specifically. And we got a Majestic right off the bat. This is going to be a Nourishing Emptiness. Pretty interesting Majestic. We've seen some people try to run it in Kano. Personally, I kind of plan on running it in Levia. But other than that, get this next one open. Spectral Shield Iris again. It's a sign. And for our foil, we're going to get a Red Rise Above. Hey, that's not too bad. Foil rare, and it's red. This is, a lot of people seem to really like this artwork. Which is nice. It's alright. The foiling isn't, there we go. I was like, it's not coming in too great. Yeah, really cool looking full card. And we got a red version here, so. How do I want to do this? I gotta make sure it's on camera as well. We'll do something like that, right? Alright. And Time Skippers for our equipment, Seeping Shadows for our first rare, and a Seek Horizon red for next rare. Pretty happy to get this for my Azalea deck, of course. I don't think I've pulled like any from my sealed boxes, so really happy to finally pull a Seek Horizon. Pretty darn good card for Azalea. I think there are some other characters who might also benefit from it. I got a Soul Shackle, Ravenous Munex. And so our first card here, the foil is going to be a blue Herald of Triumph. This is just a, oh, this is a rare. Got another foil rare. Pretty looking card. Blue's fine. Heralds are kind of weird in the sense that realistically, blue, yellow, red, they're all pretty evenly valuable. It just kind of depends on the deck you're running. And Time Skippers again. We got a Convulsions for our first rare, yellow Convulsions, and an Exude Confidence. We got another Majestic here. This is a pretty cool one. This card looks really good as a foil, by the way. Pretty solid Majestic card. Right now, I see a lot of play in Bravo. Personally, I think that makes sense. It's kind of funky to think about it in other decks, just because it requires so many resources just to kind of be decent. I did see a player run it in a Warrior Drenthia deck, though. There we go. I moved the cards to kind of take more center stage. We got Bolton. There's our double-sided token. And we got for our foil, we're going to pull... Oh, Herald of Ravages, yellow. Pretty good card. I love this card foil, by the way. It is so beautiful. This is some of the... like, a lot of people like Rise Above. I think this is my favorite art of this set. It's just so tremendously good. And then seeing it foil is also pretty darn breathtaking. And yellow is a great variant to pull it from. Evenfold, Soul Reaping for our first rare, and then another Herald of Triumph blue for our second rare. Alrighty. Next up, oh, token cracked bauble. We got a foil Genesis. There's our first majestic foil card, and it is a Genesis. I actually opened a box last night. I didn't have recording equipment, and I did pull a Genesis in that as well. So we're already at 2 of 3. The foiling ain't quite coming in. There we go. It's reasonably subtle. Looks really good though, foiled, man. The 3D effect of those clouds really coming through. Pretty darn good card. So pretty good majestic pull there for a foil. Here's the Shadow Beast for a token. Another Convulsions. And then a Terror Limb from Limb. There's our third majestic. No, not tremendously popular card. A lot of people aren't really running it in Levia, but... Alright, so we got a token, Bolton, and Hatchet. Next up we got our foil's gonna be foil Void Wraith, yellow. Nothing too exciting there. Dreamweavers for equipment. Out Muscle for a first rare. Not Muscle red too. And a Herald of Judgment. Pretty excited to get that, I guess. Would love to get these in foil, of course. Pretty decent card for Prism. I think it's really good when you sideboard it against anyone who's using the Banish Zone. Bolton, Chain, not really as much Levia, but even like Kano, it could be really good on Katsu as well. Next pack, we have Soul Shield Hatchet. And we're going to pull a foil Lunartide Plunderer yellow. Hey, that's a pretty good one to pull. This is right where you want it to be for Levia. Looks really cool foil, man. I'm digging it. Let's see if I can get a good one on the camera. There you go. Yeah, it looks really good. Decent card, fairly straightforward. Dreamweavers, Tremor of Erythale, and Out Muscle for a second rare. Galaxy Black and Chain, and then we got for our foil, it's gonna be a rare Plow Through yellow. Pretty decent. I think this is a pretty good card to run as a yellow, personally, especially when you're talking about like Bolton, for instance. And then to have a foil version, it's a pretty moderate foil, but I really like that it goes down the spear right through that guy. That's pretty sick. Yeah, it came out really nice. Stubby Hammers, Endless Maw for a first rare, and a Captain's Call red. Pretty darn solid card. All right, next pack. We're just not even gonna bother with the tokens anymore. I'm already over it. We got a foil Hungering Slaughter Beast blue. That's not a great pull. The Hungering Slaughter Beast, man, I've pulled a lot of foils. They have a very boring foil scheme. Like, you can kind of briefly see it. Like, it kind of hits his head, and that's about it. And blue, obviously, you don't want to run here. You want to run yellow, if possible, for Levia. Gallantry Gold for our equipment. Dustpath Pilgrimage, blue as our first rare. And a Dimensional Gateway as our second rare. Pretty decent card. Next up, we got, straight to the foil, Adrenaline Rush blue. I really like Adrenaline Rush, especially in limited play and sealed. It's a really powerful card. I think blue can also be pretty darn scary. You're talking, blue card that can swing for 5 off of 2 is pretty solid. The foiling is really quite elegant, and I love the artwork. I really hope we see this character show up. I think we've seen her a few times. I'm not sure. She kind of looks like a brute. Yeah, it would be really cool. A brute with like daggers too. Time Skippers for equipment. There's a token. And we got a Valiant Thrust yellow for our first rare, and then a Howl from Beyond blue for our second rare. All right. Next pack, we got a Belittle foil that kind of like escaped my notice for a second. It's like right in the center of the card. You can kind of see it. It actually looks really nice. It goes up his armor and his like accents really well, and it doesn't touch literally anything on the sides, which is pretty peculiar. Unfortunately, it is a blue, which I don't particularly think is really valuable, but still, cool looking card. Ironhide Plate, and then a Seeping Shadows for a first rare, and then a Prismatic Shield yellow for a second. I'm not really a fan of running Prismatic Shield below red. I guess if you're running Aura Prism and you really just want more, yellow is not too bad. Getting 2 out is still better than getting none. All right, next pack. I think this is halfway through the box now. Our foil is going to be Hungry Slaughter Beast Yellow. I can already tell this is going to be the one I'm going to hate seeing the most. At least we got a yellow. Yellow means it's available for Levia, so better than nothing, but still kind of down. Stubby Hammers, Endless Maw for our first rare. This is this is a card you need to run as a red if you're running Levia. And then we pull the Luminaris. Nice. This is a short printed Majestic. And this is our first Majestic weapon we've pulled. In all of our sealed events and the box I opened last night, I did not pull any Majestic weapons, so we hit the Luminaris. Would have loved to have this card as a foil, because I'm definitely going to be running it in Prism. It's just so much better than Iris for her. But this is a really powerful card. It's probably the most expensive Majestic, and for good reason. So pretty nice pull. Alrighty, next pack, we're gonna get a foil Lunartide Plunder red. Decent card, if you really wanted to. This is a decent card to run in Levia, even outside of yellow. I think yellow is the ideal place to go, but even as a red, it's pretty nice. You're swinging for 7, potentially can banish it, so pretty good card. Maybe you sideboard it if you're going against like a Prism or Bolton. Gallantry Gold coming back in, Soul Harvest for our first rare, and a Phantasmify Red for our second rare. Phantasmify, super powerful card. I mean, it's pretty darn nuts. I think, depending on what kind of Prism you're running, personally, I'm of the mindset that you'd be running a Herald Prism for this, but you could be running this, yellow, even the blue one is very powerful, so really cool pickup. All right, moving on to the second half of the box, and there's our double-sided Prism. We got a foil Belittle Red, so there we go. That's fine. I think that's fine. Belittle Red is pretty darn solid for a small power build. So cool. That's a nice pickup. Bloodropper Cod. We got another Herald of Judgment for our first rare, and a Glisten Red for our second rare. Glisten's really cool for Prism. You can really run pretty much any of the color variants. All right, next pack. Got another double-sided Prism. Interesting. And for our foil, we got a Yellow Seeds of Agony. This card is not only just really good, but is so gorgeous as a foil. Look at that. Beautiful art, dude. As a foil. Incredible. Really good card. You can realistically run kind of all 9 variants in a chain deck. In fact, you probably will. Time Skippers for our equipment. Herald of Triumph Red for our first rare. And then a Spill Blood Majestic coming in. Everybody's favorite new warrior card. This is an awesome card to run with the axes. Yeah, cool. I'm personally, at the moment, I'm planning on running a Raiden build for my Bolton. But man, Spill Blood definitely makes the axe build super tempting for any warrior. All right, now, as we are about, a little over halfway now in the box, we've pulled 5 Majestics and 1 foil Majestic. Statistically, what would be left is 1 normal Majestic, 1 foil Majestic, and then a foil equipment. So those are what we're looking for. Of course, I'd love to pull a legendary or anything more than that, of course, as well. So our next foil is going to be a foil Illuminate. This card is so gorgeous. Just both the artwork, but especially as a foil, it's very, very pretty. Not a tremendously valuable card outside of sealed and limited, but still just a really gorgeous looking card. It looks so good. The foiling, I think you can kind of tell on camera. It in person foiling always looks better, but the foiling on the her armor is fantastic, and at certain lighting you can really catch all of it in one go. It's gorgeous. Ironhide Element, another red Glisten for our first rare, and a Consuming Aftermath yellow for our second. Not very exciting. You really want that as a red. All right, next pack, another double-sided Bolton. We got a foil Bonard Marauder Red. This is a great card to pull. Definitely want the reds of this. I love the artwork on this card too. It's really, really quite neat. The foiling looks pretty darn cool as well. It's interesting. It doesn't touch his body really. It's just the edge of his body to go with that moonlight, which is really, really quite cool. Great card for Levia. It being 1 cost means that this enables you to go into a Hexagore if you can somehow give this go again. Typical Hexagore problems, but still a great card to pull. Who's the Shadow Beast to go along with it? Another Invigorating Light. This time we got the red for our first rare, and a Dimensional Gateway yellow for our second. Alright, next pack we got for our foil Stony Wootenhog yellow. Nothing too exciting. Pretty basic generic card. And I don't know if you'd really run the yellow version in anything either, so nothing too great there. Hooves of the Shadow Beast, Seek Horizon Blue, interesting. And a Unhollowed Wrights is our second rare. This is an Unhollowed Red. This is a really cool card. I dig it. And then a Cracked Bubble. Alright, next up we got a foil. There's our foil equipment. It's an Aether Ironweave. This is kind of unfortunate. I actually pulled a full Aether Ironweave yesterday. So this is trade fodder for me. But hey, you know, that's pretty decent trade fodder to pull, worth about 10 bucks or so. Pretty darn good equipment too, decent in terms of common equipment. If you don't have something like Blood Sheath, or maybe you just don't want to run Blood Sheath and find all Spring Tunic and stuff, this is a pretty decent card. Just free 2 energy that you can pop as a Rune Blade is pretty nice. It also has Battle Worn, which is also really good. So really cool pull. There's our foil equipment. Now I did pull 2 foil equipment in yesterday's box, so it's certainly possible. We got a Blood Drop Bracade, a blue Invigorating Light, and another Majestic. This one is the Raz the Age Ancients. It's an interesting card. A lot of people have been running it in Bravo, which totally makes sense. I think it's great in Bravo. It's hard to kind of think of it in other decks. Maybe something, you know, maybe Brute related as well, because they have those high numbers. But I don't know. It's funky. It's a funky card, but still really cool card to pull. And that should be our last non-foil Majestic. So at this point, we're just waiting for another foil Majestic. We might not hit it. Some people don't, and so we'll see. All right, next pack. We're getting down to the last few. First card, the foil is going to be... Ooh, a foil Deep-Rooted Evil. This is our second foil Majestic of the box. It's actually pretty muted in terms of foiling. It's just this background that is foiled, and it's pretty tame. Pretty good card. I've actually seen a lot of Levia decks not run Deep-Rooted Evil. I can kind of understand why as well, especially if you're running Hexagore. But I still really enjoy it. If you're trying to play for a longer game, it's pretty useful, and it fills up your grave with more 6-power cards. So I think it certainly has uses to it. But really cool, decent card to pull is a foil Majestic. Not the best, but not the worst. Another Aether Ironweave, and we got a blue Rise Above. Sorry, for first rare. I would never run this as a blue, and then a red Herald of Triumph for second rare. All right, got a Galaxy Black Chain. I don't know why I read it off. Our foil is going to be a red Seeds of Agony. Great card to pull as foil, as we talked about. It's a gorgeous card foiled. Seeds of Agony is just a powerful card in general. Sure, red, why not? Ironhide Plate, a red Pulping, it's the first one we've seen so far, and a Rise Above Yellow for our second rare. Alright, next pack, there's only 3 remaining. We are gonna pull a second foil equipment. That's gonna be an Ebenfold. Heck yes, we don't have this one. Man, does that look cool. Wow, that is just breathtakingly good. The artwork on all these common equipments is already tremendously good, but then you add in the foiling on it. Oh, man, that's awesome. I don't really have any like super amazing helmets that I would like. I don't own a skull cap, so I've been running Ebenfold on my chain in Levia when I do play them. So this is pretty exciting. Ironhide Plate. Endless Maw Blue for our first rare, and then a Plow Through Blue for our second. So while I didn't record the box I opened yesterday, this is already better than it, because in that box I opened only 4 Majestics, 2 foil Majestics and then 2 equipments. And now we just pulled another 2 equipments in addition to the 6 non-foil Majestics. So pretty nice there. And we're gonna get another Boneyard Marauder Red. Awesome. We might actually get a play set of foil Boneyard Marauder Reds, which is really cool for our Levia. She's gonna be excited about that one. Dreamweavers. There we go. There's the Prismatic Shield Red and a Writhing Beast Hulk Blue right afterwards. All right, guys. This is the last pack of the box. This was a pretty hype box, and I don't know. Even if this doesn't have anything too exciting, I'm really happy with what we ended up pulling. We got a Herald of Protection Blue for our foil. Which is nice. I do run Heralds of Protection, and I think a blue one in an aura build is actually very good. So really cool card to pull. I actually think I pulled a blue and a yellow yesterday, so this is our second blue foil protection Herald. So awesome. Aether Ironweave, Howl from Beyond Yellow, and a Vexing Malice Blue for our final rare. So let's go ahead and go over our pulls in total. We pulled, of course, 6 non-foil Majestics. We got the Rouse, the Ancients, the Spill Blood, the Luminaris, Tear Limb from Limb, Exude Confidence, and a Nourishing Emptiness. Honestly, this was kind of a stacked pack, I'm not going to lie. With the exception of maybe Tear Limb from Limb and maybe Nourishing Emptiness, which I haven't checked on in a while, these are all pretty valuable Majestics. We also got our 2 foil Majestics, a foil Genesis, which is stellar, foil Deep-Rooted Evil, which personally I like, but I know a lot of people don't, so not as valuable. And then we got the Good Luck double equipment foil pulls, Aether Ironweave and the Ebenfold. Very exciting, even though I already have one. Regardless, good trade fodder. So that's been it, guys. Thank you for joining me for this box. I hope you enjoyed this opening. I'll see you guys next week with another Monarch box opening. Thank you so much, and have a great one, guys.